Well, I mean, does it really take much at this point to make it better than that?
Oh wow, dude! I was gonna thank him for being a bro. You know, like what's up, man? You just go ham right off the bat, man. Okay, no chill here on the caster desk. No chill.
I've got to say, it is a smooth looking suit.
I've waited a long time. This is my baby. I've waited a long time for this one. You guys like it too.
That's right. Can't believe Moses stabbed me in the back like that.
I know, right? You called. I don't know if it showed up on the desk, but you called out Trader. I mean, are you going to talk to him at all today? Or is that it? All bonds are broken.
I think we're going to have more than words, Moses and I. I think it might go past that.
It's going to get real awkward come final time.
Yeah. I mean,
am I going to have to sit between the two of you? You're like, guys.
The problem is, I feel like with Moses, if I had to try and punch him, I think there's a chance my fist would sort of slip off his head. Like they do in boxing. It's that's why they put on all the wax and everything. Now, so I don't know. I might have to think of a different angle there. I do expect. I expect you to be on the EnVy side here. I mean, because I'm obviously going to have to be like massively biased in favor of the Danish team. Yes, I've got no choice.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be biased. And the funny thing is that I get to be biased towards EnVy as well.
There we go.
Sup? Nationalities, they matter sometimes.
But that means we find some sort of balance, I'm sure, and figure out exactly how this is going to work out. Look, I mean, I do think EnVy have been looking a bit shaky. I think Astralis have been playing quite some distance below what their level should be. And when they tell me things like we've been doing well in practice, I get really nervous. Because that's actually the one sentence that I never want to hear from a pro player. Because immediately when someone says, we've been doing well in practice, I think, well, that means you don't understand what practice means.
Well, it depends. It depends. If they say we're doing well in practice because we're winning a lot of rounds, it's like,
yeah.
Okay, that's not how it's... If you're doing well in practice because you're fine-tuning your strategies and you're figuring out the kinks, then I'm like, sweet, that's good practice.
The team can feel good in practice. You can feel like, we're in a good spot right now. Everyone seems to be doing well, and like we're internally there's like no big conflict, right? If someone tells me that, that's fine. But if you tell me you're winning a lot of practice games, I'm just like, well, you could be playing opponents who are not really trying to win, who are just trying to see if some small aspect of their game works. So they may be playing 10 Inferno games, and they're not trying to win Inferno necessarily. They're just trying to say, we just want to see if the B-bomb side is going to be better defended if we do these things. So yeah, you could win, against Fnatic 10 times in practice. It won't mean anything. I don't think that's what Astralis meant when they said it. But just whenever I hear that phrase, it's like one of those things that makes me think, oh damn, I don't want to hear about practice games. I want to see on LAN what's going on.
And I mean, exactly. And I got to catch up a little bit with Kerrigan yesterday. We had a little bit of a talk, and again, it's just like that wishy-washiness is coming through from Astralis, where it's like they sound confident, but at the same time they don't. And it's like, are you confident? Are you not? How are you feeling right now? Nobody really seems to be able to get a beat on it. When you look at them, they still look like they're under a lot of pressure, and really they shouldn't be. They should be feeling like, great, we're coming into this tournament. We're one of the favorites to make it out of this group, if not crush the group. Let's go. It's time to do some work. And instead, they're looking like they're a little doubtful about themselves, about their abilities, and about what they're capable of doing. That you cannot have. You simply cannot allow when you're a top contender coming into a tournament. You have to come in here as if you're just going to own this thing. And so Zonic, you can see Zonic there again. Astralis, they added him recently. He is very much involved with the strats, the anti-strats, basically building up the teams. The team he doesn't call, but he helps Kerrigan a lot to set up the strategy for the map. And so I'm sure that he's done a lot of homework here on EnVy, even though EnVy are kind of hard to predict, considering the fact that they kind of just select a site and then blow up on that site, and it's really hard to stop them once they get rolling.
Yeah, I think that's just the one thing you have to prepare for, isn't it? It's mentally preparing yourself for the idea that come T side, they're gonna be fast and explosive. So yeah, just trying to sort of be ready for that. Make sure that you've got the right grenades out.
And at NBK, I love it. It's like, let's analyze this, right? At NBK in the chat, he's just like, joke's on them. We stopped doing strats.
Only skills.
There you go. So true, so true. Even though it's not NBK, we see what you're up to. We know that you're trying to get a little bit more structure in your team, that you have a different way of calling from Happy. Happy, very much, laissez-faire. Why would I say laissez-faire? That's like the American way of saying laissez-faire. That's how it's said. There you go.
I just wouldn't even say it.
See, no, but it's you gotta let it be, right? You gotta let it be. And Happy was very much, guys, just go get frags and we'll play off of that. NBK seems to have a little bit more structure, a little bit more of a game plan going into it, where he's like, okay, this is what we want to achieve. Stop over peaking. That was something that he mentioned in an interview, well, in a discussion with Thorin and Fallen recently, where the big thing that he's trying to work on with his teammates right now is to get them to just play smart CT sides, basically. Well, just smart anything is. And what I mean by that is when you take the peek, just peek for info. You don't need to fight every time, right? You can peek for info, and in some situations, it's smarter to just peek, spot the player, and then back off and set up a different line of defense, change up your angle, rather than just, play brain dead and just try and run in there and take the aim duel every single time you spot somebody, right? And so he's really trying to work on this with his team. We've seen it here and there on the online matches on Pro League. We've seen them actually, a couple of the players kind of step up their game individually in that sense, where it really benefited them. They would take the fight, but also just like peek for info, fall back, and set up crossfires. It was really clever. So EnVyUs right now, they're another team like Virtus Pro that are kind of in like full transition.
Well, they're trying to get. I think they're trying to get Maniac to coach for the Astralis team, just to see, then they know what's going on. That would be genius, wouldn't it?
That would be like the master play. But then you would have to get Zonic for Envy, right?
How do they always know where we are? Yeah, true.
Maniac is another coach who, well, I mean, obviously he has his master's in like what, administrative psychology or something, so businesses basically, but how to like manage teams, groups of people, and how to keep people happy and productive, all that sort of stuff. So I mean, he's invaluable as a coach. Just that, Envy, there's a lot of, big, it's not egos, but it's just, like they've got a lot of character, all these players.
Is
and
psychology even a real thing? I think the jury is still out on that. I think we need to wait a couple of years to see.
Or is it just like common sense, like actually, maybe you shouldn't act like a dick?
I think it's just like, I'm having a hard time, with it. It's like one of those social sciences where you're like,
yeah, I'm not. You're watching all too much YouTube videos these days, man. You just got. I'm literally going to like take your phone away at some point. All right, we're live with the game, guys. Enough of that. Getting into the pistol, Astralis starting on the CT side. They won the knife, so they got to decide which side they wanted to start on. EnVyUs will be on that T side, so they get to decide on the pace. They get to determine how this is going to play out. And no raid boss. So did NBK already chuck out all of his utility? Because he's just sitting on a straight Glock right now.
Saving for that. I don't know.
Yeah, he must have gone smoke, flash, flash, or something along those lines, because unless he dropped the P250 for Apex, because Apex went full utility as well. But this is looking like it's going to be an A split.
Yes, it is, and there's only 3 people here for Astralis, so they need a big, strong opening, and it's going to be Cajun and Karrigan to open up really well. 1 click each, and they're going to get a kill for it as well. It's going to be happy to get 1 in return, but Device takes down Apex, and this is looking a little bit sad for Envy early on, but they can at least get a bomb plant here. They fake it out once, so they're not even trying to just get away with the plant here. They actually want to try and win this round, faking it, and then holding it down. NBK going to be able to plant the bomb. It's going to be such a tough after plant for EnVyUs.
Yeah, especially because there's 2 players coming from Ivy. So the surprise move here, NBK goes down. It was all going to be on Happy to try and get something done there. He needed to hit headshots and nothing but, and it's just not going to happen. Astralis played really well there using the buddy system, basically. If one of their players dies, the other one will be able to trade, and they'll just take advantage of basically being a man up in that situation, or 2 men up.
Yeah. It's hard to know what Envy's plan were then, because a lot of the time on train, if you're on the terror side, what you really, especially in the A-bomb side, what you really just want to do is get the bomb down and run away. So, I mean, even if you're playing like 3 versus 5 on A-bomb side and the bomb is down, it's hard for the CTs to find you. They have to spend so much time looking.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of CT teams will just try and smoke and defuse, because it's almost easier to try and do. But Envy, because they lose those 2 players early on, we don't even know what the after plan was going to be like. They just had to improvise. And I mean, they did sort of the best that they could.
And this is pure Envy, isn't it? You know what? Force up, Tech9's Kevlar, go run with the nades, and then they didn't expect Xyp9x to be so close. It's amazing that he didn't get that second kill onto Apex, down to 4 HP on Apex. Now, can they actually hold? No, he gets caught, so it's a man advantage here. And Astralis, they weren't messing around in this round either. They've got full rifles across the board.
Oh, what a shot. NBK just shoulder peeking it and getting the instant dingo device and the follow-up as well. It's a lot of damage, and look at Cajun, how low he is. They even have the Molotov on the high ground, and there is a smoke there, but it just got put out, so now they actually can't defuse if the Molotov comes out, and they will. Happy, gonna put it in, flashbang out. He wants to buy time. He's jumping in. There's no one there yet. Oh, what a shame. The timing being off just a little bit, and there is a kit on Cajun. They should have just enough time here. A little bit of a scary round, but Astralis gonna pull through at the end. That could have been horrific. Cajun with a quad kill, though, but I mean, that could have definitely been around for Envy.
Yeah, and There's the telling. I mean, that extra 5 seconds making all the difference. Cajun wins the round there if he gets that Molotov down and before the patch. But now with the extra 5 seconds on the bomb, they just have enough time to defuse Astralis. So tough break there for Envy. It would have worked otherwise. So now, well, they went for the force buy. At least they got another bomb plant. It would have been a catastrophe if they hadn't. If they can get another bomb plant here, Kenny will still be able to get his op. He should be. He actually should just have the money to get it regardless. He's up to 3250 right now. So that actually worked out pretty good for Envy. They got a couple of kills, and they got the bonus money from a plant.
Also, in case we have any new people watching, anyone who don't know, if you wait for the defuse sound and then throw the Molotov, if the guy defusing has 100 health, if he just sticks it, he won't die to the Molotov. The defuse will go through, he'll survive on like 5 health or something, but he will be able to defuse. So, so it's no use. He kind of had to throw it before he heard the sound. Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, we could see the Cajun at 3 health, but you know, obviously you don't even know that. That's a nice little click there. Obviously, a lot of damage already being dished to Apex, and this is a round where Envy would just like a couple of headshots, because they've already kept the Astralis economy a bit low. Might as well keep going.
We have to see if he's going to be able to catch out Dupree there. MBK, just as Dupree spots, he's not going to get it. Going for the shoulder peek, but Dupree with nice pre-fire there. Good timing. Gets the read on MBK's rhythm, manages to pick him off. So he's going to be just happy, kind of, you know, sacrificing himself. He realizes nothing more is going to really happen there in that situation. So now it is going to be the big buy. And Kenny, he's got 5650, so that is enough for the AWP. Does he decide to go for it here? Is that how Envy are going to build their first buy strat? Do they want to try and focus on getting Kenny to open things up for them with the pick? Or do they want to be a bit quicker about it with the with just like full AKs? And it does look like they want to get Kenny with the sniper rifle, so we'll see how they decide to use him, if he's going to go to alley or not. Or if it's just going to be a very quick strategy here. Ooh, Anders, where does that smoke go?
Well, I think it's
that's a connector smoke, isn't it?
I think it's going to be C connector, so it could be very interesting. It looks like a fast setup anyway, but the Vice has actually not been smoked off, so he's going to have a clear shot, and it just times it. He's flashed, but Kenny with the refrag there, Kerrigan coming in with one, but he's going to go down happy. Looking good so far here for the French side.
Yeah, this is some vintage Envy. Look at how explosive they are. Dupree, however, falling back, playing that angle, is actually able to hold off that push. Not sure if Kenny spotted out. Zipnix, what is this? Kenny, big plays. He attempts it, but it's just not going to work. Just goes charging up there, and with no Kevlar, just aim punch all over the place. As soon as they start landing shots on him, it was over. So Cajun, wow, Cajun, he's having a fantastic game so far, at least 7-0-0 for him. But Envy, I mean, it seemed like at least at the start they were able to trade effectively with each other. Kenny was able to refrag on Apex very quickly, and they were able to catch out the man holding Electric. That should have been Kerrigan. So, you know, the start of it worked out great for Envy. It's just the fact that the tipping point came when Dupree was actually able to get the kill for free and fall back. That's where it all kind of fell apart there for Envy.
And I mean, this almost, even for Envy, this seems like a very, very fast T sign that they're approaching it. So I'm wondering if this is like a shock and awe thing. They're thinking, you know, it's the best of one game. Let's just try and wreck him early on, which is not such a bad idea. But when it doesn't work, then you've got to think, have they got something as a plan B here, Envy? This time it's looking like a very similar stance to the second round, where they try to save the Molotov. You've got to look at Happy here and see if he's going to save that Molotov for the after partner, if they're going to try and use it earlier on there. Sip with good opening, goes for a second one, and they're going to be successful. He's low on health, but he got the pistol out, and bomb plant not coming through just yet.
This is not good enough. This really isn't good enough here for Envy. They're not getting enough kills in these rounds, and so Astralis, they're just banking a lot of money now. Dupree's up to 10,000. 3 of them are up above 7,000, and then the others, you know, Zipnix and Kerrigan, they're kind of low, but they still have money for a full buy if they were to lose this round. So it's really ugly here actually for Envy right now, at least in the beginning of this half, where Astralis, they get up to 5 rounds, they've got a comfortable economy going for themselves. This should just be a lot of confident play coming from Astralis now, because they have everything going for them so far. Now, because Kenny invested so much in that last round, he doesn't have the money to go for that AWP in this one, and so he's just going to be sitting on the AK, full AKs across the board. So, you know, if Envy continue to try and maintain that high pace, this AK will play into that. It just means a lot of run and gun.
Interesting for Astralis as well here. You can tell that they are thinking this is going to be some sort of like, it's a B pressure, because otherwise, if it had been an A rush, they would have only had 3 people there. So this would have been a really good round, I think, for Envy to do that rush. They can't necessarily know it, but it is a slight risk on Astralis' part to try and play this setup. Nice shot from the Vice, though. Going to be taking down Kiyoshima, and he would have had Sip on the ramp here. They've fallen back now, but in case Envy are trying to push, that's why they had those 2 people there. Now you look at the switch up here on Astralis as they put 4 people in the A-bomb site.
I'm wondering if there was some miscommunication there on Envy's side, because Happy was like a full second behind Keo there, so no way to refrag, no way to punish Device. It's just Device getting away scot-free with that AWP, and that's the second time that Device has posted himself in upper now as well. So he's teaching Envy to be worried about some kind of aggression coming from up in the brown halls. And so Envy now, when they move towards B, they're always going to have to worry, okay, did Device go upper this time around? And that's going to burn time off the clock that they, that they would have otherwise for the take. So nice plays here on the CT side, making it a little confusing here for the Frenchman. And then Device just being so mobile. Really loving to see this. I mean, the top offers, the Guardians, the Kennys, the JWs, they're all across the map. You never know where to expect them, and Device is showing us that right now, that he's capable of also playing different positions and making it even more difficult for Envy to predict where he's coming from. And that's just awkward. Apex.
Did he just turn his back to Apex and then essentially slap him with the M4? That looked hilarious, but it's not going to work out for Envy. That's our 6-0, and I don't know. I don't think it's panic time yet on the Envy side. They're one of these teams that seem to be able to do this. But the one thing is, I feel like usually when Envy goes 6-0 like this, or 0-6, at least they've kept the CT economy so low that all they need is one big force-up and then they go. That's not the case right now. Astralis have like 2 buys in them at the moment, and that worries me a little bit. That makes me think Envy, even in the rounds they're not winning, they're not quite successful enough here. They need to do a bit more damage.
Oh, what is this? Oh, stop. Yeah, we got a crash there. No way for Dupree to just stand out there in the middle of nowhere. So we'll be probably just picking that up again. No frags up until that point, and well, obviously they killed Dupree because he was literally standing in the middle of nowhere. So a little unfortunate there for Envy, but they must realize as well, with Dupree just stands there, they're putting shots into him, he's not reacting. So it should be pretty evident that we just, restart everything and get it going. So easily done here, not a lot of time wasted thanks to that. And we'll be able to just pick that round up again where we left off. And again, it's just going to be a quasi-buy coming in for Envy. They're just balancing out their money right now, getting it down to around 2,000 so that if they, can get a bomb plan in this round or even just a straight loss, they're making so much money now that they'll get a full buy with everything that they need in the next one. But NBK, this is what they're talking about. It's the change in leadership, and NBK has a different style, or at least he wants to have a different style from the one that Happy had. So, what's the playbook going to look like here in the third big buy round for him, basically, is, well, Dupree already finds the first kill in Ivy.
I really don't know. They just need one, at least like 3 kills in a round like this. That would be sort of the classic Envy style where, they steal a rifle from someone, they make it close. There's Kenny picking up 1. Bit more damage put into Dupree. They need another 2 kills. Again, this is about weakening the Astralis economy, and there's a great shot coming out. Cajun going to be drop low. Kiyoshima does go down. It's still a 2-on-3. They could still do more damage. There's the rifle stolen for Kenny. He's sort of trapped in this corner, but what a shot coming out of the Frenchman here. That's going to be a triple kill for him, and now it's a 2-on-2. Device and Sipnix are left, and Envy. This is the sort of quality that we wanted to see, and now they're finally here with it. Great shot from Happy. Going to be shutting down Sip, and now Device alone, and he gets a kill. Makes it a double for himself, and it's a 1-on-1 with 50 seconds left. No bomb plant yet. In fact, Device is controlling the bomb at the back of the A courtyard here. Kenny trying to see if he can sneak up. This would be a huge clutch and a quad kill.
Oh, wow. Device. He's actually thinking this flash will give it away, obviously. So now he might just push forward and play from Z connector to get close to bomb train, but it seemed like for a second there he was worried about Kenny trying to go for a backstab from B. He hadn't seen Kenny for a while. And Happy pushing in on his own, but this is all on Kenny now. This is his round. He's done the work so far. Happy got 1 kill, but Kenny made it possible. Now it's going to come down to the positioning, and unfortunately for him, man, that is so frustrating. He doesn't spot out Device, and just as he goes for the bomb plant, he could have even gone for a fake there. Device is in the perfect spot to stop it. Well done there by the star for Astralis.
I mean, it is, when he rotates out of that position, he takes away some of what Kenny sort of had to work off of, which is his position, right? As soon as he steals that away, it becomes a little bit tricky. 7-0 right now. They did good damage that round, and that's what they need. They need more rounds, even if they don't win them. I mean, for all Envy care, they could go 9-0 right now. If they just keep the economy low enough that they win 1 round and then bounce up a little bit more. Sip has actually managed to walk past Kiyoshima all the other way around, and now they won't know that he's here. He's going to pick up the 1 kill, turn around, goes for more. How does he get a double kill? He's got the pistol out. Kenny misses a shot. Oh no, Sip, he's doing so much damage right now. Finally going to be taken out by Kenny, but that's massive. He should have only had the 1 kill at the most. Kiyo pushed him, and he gets shot down by Device. This is a grotesque round.
Oh, this is a catastrophe. Envy, what can they hope to do here? Nothing seems to be going their way. They're going to be scratching their heads thinking, well, what can we do about Xyp9x hitting the perfect timing to get right in next to us? You need to have that second man a little bit closer, perhaps, close the gap, not allow for Xyp9x to have a way to weave his way in. But in such a key round, now Astralis' economy right back up there again. They're all floating around 8, apart from Kerrigan, who goes for the buy. I mean, what a nightmare. Yeah, Xyp9x, and Xyp9x is just so good. As far as I'm concerned, and I think we're all starting to get on that same page, he's pretty much the best player on Astralis right now by a pretty fair margin.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that he is. And I think he's just always been at like a fairly stable level. But obviously there was that point in time when the whole team was like, we feel like you're making too many mistakes. And I don't know if they gave him an ultimatum, but they at least told him that we need to see more, basically.
I think that was the case, that there was an ultimatum given, and basically that just like refreshed everything for him.
I mean, I hear different stories about that, so I can't quite tell if it was one way or the other, but certainly it seemed like something sparked.
They wanted AZ, right? I think that was what the play was going to be, is that, you know, they were going to drop Xyp9x for AZ.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get AZ. And in the meantime, they had given an ultimatum to Xyp9x saying, or at least this is what I had heard, right, word around the campfire, and that they had given an ultimatum to Xyp9x, and in that span of time where they were trying to get AZ, Xyp9x just starts owning everything. He gets revived, and then all of a sudden they're like, actually, okay, we can't get AZ, but Xyp9x is playing out of his mind, so this is groovy. And ever since then, Xyp9x has actually been just like this insane clutcher, this crazy consistent player, and doing it all from, and this is what's even better for him, it's not like he's getting the easy positions on the map or the easy rolls. He gets all the horrible positions. He gets the ones where it's like usually like a 1-for-1 trade situation, or you're just going to be the first point of contact and you're going to die. The positions that nobody else on the team wants. Not only does he play those, he excels in them, and he makes it look good. I mean, yeah, Xyp9x is on a totally different level right now.
We do seem to have some sort of technical issue. I think we had nearly none yesterday. So isn't it only fitting that we would have a a day where it's different? You know.
Is it a tech issue? Maybe it's Dupree's PC that needs to get fixed.
It seemed like Cajun was standing up and looking confused for a moment.
We saw the unsung hero, Alexander Nair, standing there, basically the guy who helps put everything together here. He is like on top of everything. He's a machine.
There are some people in the industry like this that nobody knows about. And Alexander who works for ESL is one of them. Who I can't even imagine how much wouldn't be working if Alexander somehow disappeared. If he was like took a holiday for a couple of weeks, it'd be really tough.
His birthday was last week. I'm like, hey man, what'd you do for your birthday? You have a good time? Like you go out, whatever. He's like, no, I was working, dude. I had to make sure that all this stuff was set up for the event. I was just like, okay then. And every time I'm just like, dude, okay, have you gone on a vacation? Did you go on a trip? He's like, no, I had this project to work on. I had this that I had to take care of. This, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, dude, when do you take a break?
There's also something else that's actually mad about the role that Alex sort of works in, because he sort of ends up becoming the focus point for everything that, if anything ever goes wrong, there's a good chance that someone will go to Alex and say, this isn't working. And yet he's like the most calm guy in the world. Like, so relaxed always, just always like,
there he is. He's talking to Dupree right now, just so you guys can put a face to the name. Total baller. But I think Dupree is back into it, yes. And we should be able to get this game back underway, guys. So thanks for being patient with us here. You're right, Anders. I mean, yesterday, well, knock on wood, obviously, yesterday was pretty smooth. So let's hope that today is the same.
Is this wood somewhere?
I think so. Whatever. The other way to do it is you knock on your head, right? So there you go. It's a wooden head, hard head. There you go.
I so desperately wanted us not to go here, but I can tell that it's too late.
Yeah. I know. See, the thing is, bro, there's one way to look at that. I'm towing the line right now, Anders. If you hadn't said that, nobody would have realized.
You've got to realize this is essentially radio. So when I asked, is this wood? People at home are going to be like, what is going on?
Yeah, exactly, bro. But all right, whatever. Let's just shelve that.
Did I see it right that 2 of the EnVyUs players have not killed anybody yet in the first 8 rounds of this game? I think I did, actually. Almost 3, right?
Keo and Apex. But Keo keeps feeding himself in there. And yeah, Apex is the same thing. Like, right now, Astralis are really good at least getting that first pick. And you have to wonder, okay, is the timing off with the flash nades? Is the timing off with the trades? Are these guys just not feeling it right now? What's going on? Because MBK now is the one taking matters into his own hands over here at Ivy. He's just going to step up and take a fight with Dupree and win it flat out.
That's what they need. Some individual performances to come in. Kerrigan going to fail that spray, and Apex will capitalize on it. Device takes 1, takes 2, goes for a third as well. Flick not going to connect, and MBK coming up with a double kill in the round. That's going to be down to Sip and Cajun here, trying to see if they can steal this round away from Envy one more time. And Cajun already doing a good job, but Sip will fall. And now it's all in the hands of Cajun. 1-on-2, he goes for the spray and somehow misses entirely. And Apex is going to come up with a triple instead. And finally a round for Envy.
Well, that was awkward. I mean, considering Cajun's also, he's doing all right, 11-0-2 right now. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of an awkward situation. That's really going to take put a big dent in the bank here for Astralis. It's not like they're holding back. I mean, they're going for the AWP. They're going full nades. They've got everything that they need, but a couple of these rounds that have been pretty close, the near clutch round for Kenny, now the round win here, it is finally starting to at least, slow down that Astralis economy, which has been doing so well so far in the first 8 rounds. So EnVy now, they have a real chance at having an impact. If they lose this round, though, Astralis are just going to crush them out of this first CT half. Because they'll have no money left. They'll be completely screwed on that front. They'll have nothing to work with EnVy, and they have to start from 0 again, whereas Astralis, they're just going to be able to start building that bank again. So this is all or nothing now for EnVy. A lot of pressure on them in this round to get something done. And unfortunately for them, Xyp9x is in the perfect spot. Xyp9x roasts one as well. Fair trades, though, bringing it back to a 3-on-3, but then Kerrigan gets into the mix, and dupreeh is there to lay down NBK. Happy now in a 1v2, but he needs to figure out where's dupreeh. He knows that he's somewhere by Ivy. Not sure if he spotted him there at Green Train, but he has to be worried about this being the angle, and dupreeh's already holding it, and that is just not good enough, EnVy. That is not going to cut it.
So, not to make any kind of excuses, I think EnVy should be able to show us just a bit more on train than what they have so far here. But historically, they do seem to have a hard time playing early in the day, and especially early matches for some reason. I don't know what
even though they don't party as much as they used to.
They don't party as much as they used to, and I mean,
if at all, actually, since Shoxy and Smith left.
If at all.
They're actually pretty tame compared to the old times.
The disco queens. I don't know why that's funny.
Devilishly handsome.
Oh, wow, what a shot from dupreeh. That was actually NBK just jumping. It's going to be Apex going down. They don't have any armor, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but it looked fancy for a moment. I don't know what it is with EnVy, because it feels like unless you add a reason for why they don't play well early in the day, it just sounds weird. But they actually just, if you look at their games, a lot of tournaments they show up early and they lose some of the early games for no good reason.
Very true. All right, now I'm noticing small details here from Astralis. They really are, it's either coming down to the communication, but they are just really playing well together. That alley control in particular between Kerrigan and dupreeh, they keep peeking together, which is exactly what you have to do, and their timing's on point. It's not one guy peeks and the other one shows up. It's like, boom, they count it down, they peek together, and if anybody's waiting for him there, it gets nasty. Cajun with the backstab is going to drop happy. And now it's just Keo in a 1v2, but the bomb is so far away. There's just not really much hope for him here. 2 kills for Cajun, 2 for dupreeh, a single one for Kerrigan. And well, now we have to see. EnVy, it's not going to be a perfect buy. It's going to be good enough for a couple of them to get AKs. Apex should be able to get an AK as well, but then NBK's only got the 3500 right now. So just to get the HEs, or rather the full nades, the Molotov, it's 2 guys going for Tech 9s, 3 for AKs. And now we have to see. EnVy, they have to get the remaining 4 rounds. They can't let it get past 10-5.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true.
Oh,
Smoke goes up. dupreeh gonna run past, but actually gets body blocked a little bit from Cajun here. And I think at this point, NBK and the rest must have heard that on the other side. A little bit of confusion there on the Astralis team. It is a good idea, though. You put up that smoke, and the Ts will hear it, so they might be thinking, if they're a little bit careless, well, they smoked it up. They're not going to be on the wrong side of the smoke. And then, in fact, you are. Kerrigan, the same as it ever was, playing aggressive towards the main entrance to that courtyard, and comes up with a kill.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the changes that we saw, is that Kerrigan is now the one being forced back into main on Blue Train like that, because nobody else wanted to play the position. Again, Astralis can't seem to make up their minds, but when it comes down to it, Kerrigan's usually the one who has to take the tough roles. Along with Xyp9x, it's between the 2 of them. So Kerrigan, of course, but I like that from Astralis. They're not staying put. They're not counting on a static defense. No, they're getting out there. They're putting pressure on EnVy. They're not letting EnVy get comfortable. That's exactly how you have to handle the situation. Apex and Happy are going to get 2 kills, though, so that brings it back to a 3-on-3. And the backstab on a Device who's just staring into electric, but there's Cajun with the backstab, and he's going to be able to drop that bomb. So this is winnable for Cajun.
They don't have any grenades to really force him out. Happy's low, and Cajun has a Molotov as well. If he spots out Keo here, and he will, and just straight take the shot down to 3 health with a triple kill. Still no Half-Life 3 confirmed.
No. 16, 1, and 3.
Every day I wake up somewhere.
Do you check the Twitter account still?
Yeah, of course.
You should tell people what that is, just because they probably haven't heard this joke before.
This is just a Twitter account that's called, I think it's @ishl3 out yet, and every once in a while they just tweet no, just to remind everyone.
So sick, I love that.
It's a fantastic. It has like 40,000 followers as well. Device gonna go for a bit of a shot there with the P90, but not really picking up anything and not afraid of being shot in the back apparently. Yeah, he actually runs with his back turn. That seems very, very careless. He ends up getting a kill and keeps spraying. It's got 50 bullets after all. Oh! Slice and dice, some Danish bacon coming up for you. And it's gonna be Kenny dropping a little bit low, and NBK is also very near death, but it's only Dupree and Cajun left. It's a 2-on-4. And what a great round here from Envy, a much needed one.
Sick plays. That by Keo, that's going to be a feel-good moment for him. NBK getting caught there on the angle, though, that's not really going to help. So 2v3, and both of the Astralis players were on that B side as well. So they have a little bit of ground to cover to get back into the fight here. We will have the rotation from Cajun back to the, well, to the back line. So he'll see if he can't check out these alleys, see if he can't catch somebody out here. Keo's holding close to the bomb train. It's a nice triangle of doom setup here from Envy, so this should be really difficult for Astralis to be able to make their way in here and actually get this retake going. Cajun, unluckily for him, the timing works out for Keo. Yo, he just sits Dupree down. Big round for Keo to get back into this. He had a slow start in the half, but that was 4 kills for him in the round, so that'll definitely be one of those feel-good moments for him. Start giving him some of that confidence back.
Yeah, stabbing Device and then getting a triple on top. Why not?
Oh, Device. Yeah, that didn't work out for him. I suppose he wasn't expecting that smoke to clear so quickly.
I don't even know why he would run with his back turned anyway. I mean, just everything about that was a bit weird. But it's 11-2. Moving into the 14th round in what's been a very dominant first half here for Astralis. Haven't even been like that many close rounds. You know, at the end of it here, it's been a little bit more competitive. But it seems like, again, Envy just off to a very slow start.
Kind of surprised to see, yeah, Device wanted, okay, so he's going to wrap around to main instead. Interesting decision by him, considering Pop Dog wouldn't be too bad with the CZ, but maybe he wants to try and get in here, catch out Kenny, get that AWP. That would be pretty slick. He's going to crouch right in and just free shot there for Kenny, who's already pretty much holding that angle. So, matter of clicking the thumb. Cajun is playing with fire. He's got that M4. He's just going to walk up. Free kill for him. But he takes a bullet to the face in the meanwhile. Down to 17 HP, but he does manage to bring it back to a 4-on-4 here.
Yeah, and actually the money for Astralis is, you know, obviously a bit questionable, so you gotta wonder if they can still pull it home here. Dupree gonna win the first fight there against NBK. There's nobody to follow up. That's also some really good information. And now Apex jumping down. He actually gets tagged, but he still wins. And Happy gonna go down. It's a 2-on-3, 35 seconds, and not a bomb plant yet. They need to get that bomb down, or just have Apex go ham and get a triple kill. Now it's down to Dupree, 1-on-2. And they have the bomb, and they should have plenty of time here. And even a couple of grenades to get this bomb in.
This is all a guessing game, though. They have no idea where he's coming from. So there will be the plant. Keo can cover that as well. Dupree now knows that the bomb is getting planted on the other side of the train. He just needs to win the duel exactly versus Apex. Not let him get away, not let him change up the angle. Unfortunately, without a kit, life gets a little difficult here for Dupree, so he's going to have to get lucky and hope that Keo walks into him, and somehow Keo, with 9 HP, hits the perfect timing to catch Dupree looking the wrong way. And what a save for Envy, what a save for Keo there. That's a big clutch to win. 3 rounds on the board here for Envy on their T side. And this, I'm wondering, Zipnix, maybe, well, it's probably just Kerrigan not knowing where he got shot from.
Yeah, I think it was hard for him to find out exactly. And also Sip coming out of the smoke like that, probably just a little bit disorientated. So I don't know what that looked a bit confusing. Another round here with a very, very limited economy for Astralis. The 15th round, so obviously just gonna try and go for it anyway. Good little hip shot coming through the side of the wall there. Kerrigan down to 42. So double up setup as well for Envy.
Interesting choice as well. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, Happy going for the op here. They're really trying to throw a wrench in things for Astralis. And considering Astralis, well, wow, holding close. Leg shot comes out. Zipnix with a second headshot with the 5-7 though. And he can fall back now. 2-man advantage here for Astralis. Zipnix doing big work.
What a way to start.
Yeah, that's nightmarish.
Thing is, because the smoke went up, I think they even had an inkling that he might have been there. You see they were sort of moving very carefully, and still it doesn't work out.
This has been a weak point for Envy, however. You know, this pairing up between Happy and Kiyoshima over here in Brown Halls, they don't, like, Kyo died at least twice to Device, and now, you know, it goes south with Zipnix. The round before that, when Zipnix pushed up with an M4, it's just this Brown Hall area. It's good that Astralis are figuring out that they can push here and have an impact, and that's going to be the round pretty much. I mean, it's all on NBK now in a 1v3.
Yeah, I don't see him coming out of this. It's going to be very, very tough. The bomb is back behind him as well. He needs to just make this a 1v1 before he even tries to think about clutching it. But see if they gave him any chances at all. He knows where 2 of the players are. with 25 seconds, and that's really the big problem. If he had a minute now, he could just, you know, run all over the map and try and zone him out, but he has to go for this bomb site. Runs in, and now he's being fired at from 3 different angles. That's going to make it 12-3 in the first half here, and that's just too much. If this was a 1.6 train or early CSGO train, 12-3 would be like, I can still do it. I can still win on the CT side. That's possible.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Even earlier versions of Train, right?
Yeah.
Like the in CSGO, that is. You know,
Yeah.
It used to be pretty CT-sided. I actually didn't see that Device tried to push up Pop Dog there when Zipnix was going for his play, so interesting play there from him at least. I mean, they really didn't do much of the backstab.
Well, second half coming up here, you gotta think that they need to really step it up and at least win the pistol. And
Yeah, okay.
see how they actually managed to do that. We did not see a raid boss build coming out of EnVy. Maybe Astralis will show us one. Maybe Cajun, maybe Zipnix. They've actually put it on Zipnix for a while now, just as a sort of in recognition of the fact that actually you've been playing pretty well.
Kerrigan used to be the Tech 9 man for Astralis. Like when he first came into the roster, the guy went ham with the Tech 9. He just ran in. And yeah, Device is going to be the one given the Tech 9. Surprising. I mean, he is. I mean, it seems like everybody on Astralis right now is doing pretty well as far as frags are concerned. But yeah, Device is going to be taking point with that Tech 9. Interesting choice, considering, you know, you usually, I mean, you give it to Dupree, you want your entry man to have it, just bust a way up onto a site. But I guess having, you know, Device second, third man in, you know, that could actually work as well. You sack one player and then Device is there to do the cleanup. Seems like Device is taking point in alley though right now, and that smoke going down at the perfect time to stop him short.
Ooh, it's a little bit of a problem for MBK being this low. Apex also taking a couple of shots through. Actually, now he's trapped in a very awkward corner here. They need backup, but it's not coming. Dupree gonna end up getting a kill, and NBK and Kenny coming back into it strong with a couple of good headshots there, and now they're a man up, and Astralis, can they get back in here? Kiyoshima actually kills MBK, but it's still a 1-on-2 here. Cajun, no armor, and just a Glock.
He's actually got confused. You know, it's a different half now, Cajun.
What
Not on
is Cajun
CT side anymore.
What does he have a picture of Device? That's so BM.
Everybody wants to be Device. Come on, you know that. Well, 40 seconds, but wow, wow, okay. Kenny just peaks at the perfect time.
Triple for him as well. What a great start here. In spite of a team kill that had me worried for a second there, that actually works out quite well for the EnVy team. Now, think about how far ahead Astralis is right now. I feel like this would be some classic EnVy stuff if they suddenly just wake up and become very, very hard to deal with.
Well, if it's just going to come down to aim, this is where this team thrives, right? I mean, they have such heavy aimers. Apex, always a threat. Kenny, if he can get that AWP, now he should be close to it. He's gone for the M4 at the beginning, so not prioritizing the sniper rifle. But still, on the CT side, that's where you can really be a threat. So we could see, I mean, some kind of revival coming out here from EnVy, but you're right, they've got a long way to go. They just need to be thinking to themselves, basically, that, you know, repeating that mantra, which is, you know, just one round at a time, one round at a time. Dupree, though, just finds that headshot onto Apex. Dupree's so scary with the Deeg. And Cajun B doing a bit of damage to NBK over by Alley. And well, now, as far as the situation is concerned here, it's still EnVy, and they kind of have to spread out a little bit more. Kenny having to move over towards Connector to support on B, but Kiyoshima, you don't need your help. He takes out Zipnix very nicely there. And Astralis, they're still trying to find a bomb plan in this situation. That's the only goal for them here. But at least they're managing to do a little bit more damage. Device able to pick up a headshot onto NBK, but that should be the extent of it. No, Cajun takes out Kenny, and this is getting very expensive for EnVy. They invested a lot in this round. 3 rifles picked up, 2 SMGs, but a P90 was in it. Now Keo's just going to find the angle on Kerrigan. He's going to force him out. Kerrigan hits the headshot on Happy. What is going on? If he actually gets the drop on Keo here, with 30 seconds left, he's going to go for he's going for the long con.
He has the Deagle picked up as well, because if he has the P250, this range is going to so heavily favor Kiyoshima. Now, this Deagle instead, he's going to walk around behind. 20 seconds, and Kerrigan coming up here. This would be a really, really bad turn of events for EnVy if it goes through. And Kiyoshima's thinking he's run back to the B bomb site, which is actually what I thought maybe Kerrigan would try and do. He's checking out every angle, and he's probably going to realize now this has worked. What a great round already. Now the question is, can he hit that magic shot with the Deagle? Or actually the P90 maybe.
Nope.
Oh, wow. Well, Kiyoshima not letting the nerves get to him. It's one of those situations where if you overthink it, you could definitely end up sort of handicapping yourself a bit. But it works out just fine.
That was actually really smart from Keo, though, because if Kerrigan decides to go back through main towards Ali, Keo moving over towards Link kind of eliminates that backstab possibility there for Kerrigan. So not only does he get over towards B and check to see if Kerrigan's gone for the B site, but he just takes away that risk of Kerrigan getting the drop on him, and then it turns into a situation where he'll have the advantage. A bit surprising that Kerrigan elects to go with the P90, a gun that you actually need a few bullets to get a kill with over the Deagle when he was so low on HP without Kevlar. But still, I mean, as far as Astralis are concerned, that round, it was still pretty solid. They got the bomb plant, so they got some bonus money to work with, and they actually have some nades to go along with the AKs here. So that makes a big difference here once it comes down to it, because they're just looking for that one-round win here to break EnVy's economy. Ooh, nice start here from Kenny, at least up in Sniper, but then too smooth. Dupree, he's going to hit that headshot to shut him down.
Quick, even trade. Happy shooting a bit through the smoke, but it's going to be Astralis coming out on top right now. Kiyoshima and Happy are left, and it's 2 versus 4. A nice boost up here for Happy, but they still need an opening, and they need one quick. Otherwise, they're simply going to run out of time. There's the opening, and finally, shot comes through. Looked like it was going to be a bit dodgy there, but how can they possibly... This is the problem with the A-bomb site. Look at how Astralis are not interested in fighting. They just want to wait until they tap that bomb.
Oh, the misclick from Keo! Swaps out. Dupree eventually gets the kill, but Keo, he had a golden opportunity. Dupree will get both kills in the end. Both of his teammates, Zipnix and Device, playing it safe, hiding. Dupree, the point man, and he wins both of them flat out. And he's sitting on 20 kills total so far on this map, so a fantastic performance so far for Dupree. But Kiyoshima, he tries to take off his silencer after going into a tap war with Dupree. That's heartbreaking, man. That's some frustration for Keo. That is so insanely frustrating. Because if he kills Dupree, maybe they have a chance. Maybe they have a chance at the retake. They have to deal with the crossfire, but maybe they can still get something done.
Yeah, you never know, really, but they also did not have a smoke, just to point out that that wasn't going to be an option for them to smoke and defuse. I almost feel like it's worth it just to save a smoke if you're ever going to be sort of retaking A, especially, or even B. It actually works both ways. So like how on Nuke in the B-bomb side, on the T side, you used to always have to save one smoke to get the plant down because of the vents. You couldn't really plant otherwise, but seems like retaking on train without a smoke is just so hard.
Just an insane number of angles you have to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Happy's watching up on here on upper, making sure that Dupree can't work his way through. Keo holding lower. Now it's about to get hairy. Keo up close, sprays with the P250. He's going to drop Device down to 20 HP. But Device survives, and they will be able to get that bomb plant, Astralis. Eventually, the bomb will make it there. Kenny with a very quick push into Brown Halls, and there might actually be a chance here. NBK might get the drop as well. It's down to Kerrigan and Device, and they're pinched in on this site. They have to worry about the crossfires, and Kerrigan is down. It's all on Device now with an MP7, and that's just not good enough here. He needs to be swift, and Apex has full HP. If he takes any time at all here with these shots, it's going to get nasty. It's just not going to happen. NBK, fair trade. Kenny's down, but NBK gets the job done. And what a quick rotation coming in from that A site. They were able to just get right in with the flank immediately as that push began for Astralis.
If that had been anything but an MP7 or 9 or whatever it was, then that would have been definitely a kill on NBK as well. I'm not sure if you would have won the round because there was still some time left, but I mean, it would have been a pretty awkward 1v1 anyway. 13-6 here, and EnVy still holding on, and this is still a winnable game for EnVy. They can make it back.
They can, I mean, with some smart management of their economy, they're able to get full rifles. A little light on the nades, and Astralis, wow, okay. Device, instead of going for a drop for a teammate or anything like that, maybe 2 Galils, no, straight AWP. All right, so 2 AKs, 2 Tech 9s, an AWP. Now we have to see if he's actually going to be able to find a pick. He's hoping that somebody's getting aggressive up in Brown Halls right now, but that's just not going to happen. Dupree's there to watch as well. So now they've cleared out B. They have a little bit of map control on this side of things. They still have a man lurking. That is Kerrigan holding over by Ali as well. So they know that EnVyUs haven't really pushed for info over here. So Astralis have got to be feeling good. They have everything going their way right now as far as control of this map, and they can make the decision as to where they want to go without having to worry too much.
Not a lot of information for the EnVy team about what's happening. That's something we didn't see a lot for Astralis. They had that one round where they tried to smoke push Ivy a bit. And then they played a bit aggressive in main, but there wasn't like, you know, the hyper aggression of trying to push into main or into Ivy past that. Great play from Dupree coming into, oh, what a second shot. And Happy's going to be down. That looked effortless. And it's going to be down to Kenny and NVK now. 2 versus 4, and they should save these rifles. I don't think it's worth going for the retake right now. They must know that they're basically walking into a trap here.
Oh, no. Good night, NBK.
Sweet dreams.
That's harsh. The case is like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I choose life.
14-6 here. And I don't know. I mean, Dupree just managed to walk in on the ground floor of the B bomb site.
Nobody in connector. That's the main thing there. There was nobody in connector watching that smoke. So with that smoke down, you can still push through it as the T side. Sometimes you make that mistake of assuming, you know, that smoke is down, nobody's going to push through it, and so you turn away, you put your focus elsewhere. This is when it'll come back to bite you, is when the guy's just going to come barreling through, nobody waiting for him on the other side of it. Actually, nobody even close. It was instead Happy who had a nade in his hand.
You know what they say about assuming, Samla? Makes an ass out of you and some guy named Ming. I think that was in a movie at some point. That was so bad.
All the love to Chris Mead.
Yes, Ming Lee. Yeah, I like how that was so bad. You couldn't even make yourself laugh quite yet.
No,
like no.
It's more of a, like a, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. You know, I'm not Thorin. You know, I'm just you know, I'll give you a chuckle or a giggle or a chortle.
I think Thorin would have probably left the desk at this point. That's it. So, I'm done.
Oh, I mean, he's already you know compared me to Ernie from Sesame Street today. So you know, he's awake. He's awake. He's watching.
Good stuff. Well, Kenny's got the only A.
Or Bert, rather.
I'm tilting slightly from watching this from Envy. When you have 1 AK pistol armor like this, I feel like you need to take a risk, and that's not what they're doing right now. They're saying, we'll just play this as a default round and hope that we win the fights. And maybe they will. They are obviously known for being very good with the pistols, but I kind of wish that you try and set something up a bit more elaborate here. Stack 4 people on the bomb site, flash somebody in. NBK with a good trade is still worth it. It's still trading a pistol for a rifle here. Dupree charging on in, going for the shots, and actually Kenny being very hard to kill. Apex coming up with the shot as well, and there's going to be a lot of trading of back and forth, all on device now in a 1-on-3. So this is working out for Envy, and it's right at the brink of losing this map, so it's kind of now or never.
That was a very nice attempt there by Device. Unfortunately for him, Apex does a bit too much damage there. But that was actually very interesting. The change up in roles there. Cajun B going in as the point man, not Dupree. So Dupree second in behind Cajun. So that's surprising because usually Cajun is the kind of guy who wants to just sit and wait for something to happen. He's not usually the one to force things. And so, you know, Cajun taking point, getting out of his comfort zone. Dupree there to lock that down. And for a moment there, it looked pretty good. But Envy just hit too many shots. They were able to actually just, you know, crush that push. So another breath of fresh air here for the Frenchman and Astralis, man. They're actually trying to play a very aggressive game right now. Rather than going for an eco and giving Envy a breather, no, they just go right back into the buy. Device, Glass Cannon AWP.
They're very quick in Pop Dog as well. They spotted that one guy, and that's a bit scary. Grenade comes through once, and that's the one thing that Device has to fear is the grenades. Without the armor, they do so much damage. And here's another one from Kenny following up Device. Oh, he's going to kill him outright.
Get Kobe'd.
Yeah, absolutely dunked.
Is somebody going to be able to make it back here, though? Kenny, he wants that op. He wants to get in here. He's like, oh, and Cajun's looking for it. Cajun, you can find it. Oh, no! Kenny gets out. Oh, that was sneaky.
What a thief.
You know, not only does he steal your heart, he gets your AWP too. All right, Zipnix will find the kill eventually on Keo, so a little something there, but Apex rotates in, removes him from the field, and it's going to be down to Cajun B, who's, well, all by his lonesome right now. And with 40 seconds left, 1v4, there isn't really too much hope for him. NBK is going to be the first contact. Kenny's there to back him up. And no, NBK, what is going on, NBK? Well, he'll win the fight anyways, but still, decides to give up on that angle. And now, well, Astralis, no bomb plant in the past 2 rounds, actually, so just no money. They're going to have to finally take a round of eco here. And this is that dangerous game, Anders, where you get into that rhythm of just forcing, thinking, okay, we can win this round, we can win this next one, right? We're just keep their economy low, we keep the pressure up, and we'll crack them eventually, right? but EnVy just keep sustaining themselves. I mean, they keep, weathering these blows, and it comes down to the point where Astralis, if you keep forcing like that before you know it, the other team's caught up, and you're into a real game.
Well, speaking of catching up, if you look at the EnVy players that were playing very poorly in the beginning, how far behind they were, everybody's starting to get into this game. There's nobody now that's sort of horribly underperforming. NBK almost lining up for the smoke here and doing significant damage. So again, this is something Astralis have to worry about, because it was easy enough winning against EnVy when it was really only 2 out of 5 EnVy players that were doing anything. Like 8 rounds in, 3 of the EnVy players had 0, 0, and 1 kill.
Yeah.
So they were just playing 2 of the EnVy players the first 8 rounds. So if everybody's chiming in now, I mean, you can tell how this sort of changes things for Astralis. And, 14-9, it's not over yet.
Yeah, Kio's on 12, Apex is on 15. I mean, now they're starting to tighten up the ranks here. Everybody getting into the teens. It's MBK who kind of took point at the beginning of the first half. He's kind of dropped off, but that's fine. He's trying to figure out what Kerrigan's going to be throwing at him round after round. If his teammates are waking up, that's an all right situation for him. Allows him to really focus his mind on the tactical side of things. And while there aren't really too much tactics, too much subtlety here. It's just Astralis going for the straight up rush.
And actually, Dupree's so aggressive. He wanted to push through that Molotov. I think he wanted to catch them, but not going to be quite the case. It's 3 kills for EnVy coming into it right now, and Apex winning that fight. Nobody dies on the CT side. Apex coming up with a triple, and we're going to make our way to 14-10. I mean, I'm not really against the idea of trying something like that, but at some point you gotta, this is what we talk about when we talk about grinding out rounds, You gotta find a way to just force the last 2 rounds in somehow.
We'll run that set strat. I mean, it seems like Astralis there, they were trying to go for a very quick change of pace. Not go for the slow play, just really get in EnVy's face fast. Hopefully catch them off guard. Well, this is just going to be a little bit of an pistol eco coming out here from Astralis. They've got a single smoke, so that's probably going to be on Zipmix. Throw that down onto lower and cross their fingers, hope that they can get the bomb down on that B site. Eventually, they should be working their way back there at least. It looks like we actually have a lurk coming out. Zipmix, he's managed to sneak his way out onto the B site. Maybe he can catch somebody off guard here. Kiyoshima, is he going to fall for it? There it is, instant headshot. Lands the first one, but Kiyo survives with 6 HP. Yeah, past that, it's just not going to happen. But after that round now, and Astralis, they actually have quite a round bonus. That's 5 rounds in a row now for EnVyUs. So they're getting max money, and are they calling for the tech pause? Yes, they are. Perfect timing to do this as well here for Astralis. So they get the full buy. They just had an eco where, they got the frustration out a little bit, tried to take some fights. But now they can just sit back, discuss with Zonic what they want to do here in this crucial round, because this is it. If they lose this round, EnVyUs, they're right behind them, and they're going to catch up, and it could get into a 14-14 situation, which, knowing how Astralis seem to struggle in these kinds of situations right now, where they aren't able to close out a match, and they feel like the game is slipping out of their hands, and there's just nothing they can do about it. I mean, I can't see Astralis coming back from that if EnVy managed to, tie things up here.
You see especially Kerrigan and Sonic talking, but I mean, everybody else listening, you get sort of a sense from this footage of who in the team has an input on what's going on.
Absolutely, it is between the two of them. I mean, Device also, I think, has a little bit of a say. Cage and Dupree, Zipmix, they usually just kind of like sit, listen, and, well, Cajun talks, but he's not as bad as he used to be. Used to be if he was talking, it was a lot of, you know, raging, but it seems like he's gotten better with time.
And I don't think Astralis is at the point yet where they've sort of run out of ideas or anything. I think they'll have plenty of stuff to work on. I think if you start to get into overtime and you suddenly feel like, oh, we've tried everything, then it actually can be valuable. And it's one of the ways, I think, in which some players, especially very good players, like especially star players, sometimes forget that actually can be sort of like you can add to a team just by coming up with information and input. Say, hey, remember that one time we did this, or they did this in practice? Maybe we should try and just add something. But for right now, I kind of like the idea that not everybody's talking, because it doesn't help Kerrigan or Sonic to have like 4 different people just putting into a conversation.
Well, this is what I was telling Kerrigan yesterday, because we've heard about this in the back, in interviews, etc., where sometimes they're a bit divisive. Astralis, you have players who want to play this way, others who want to do this, and then passive, aggressive. They can't really seem to make up their mind. So I'm telling Kerrigan, at one point, you're just gonna have to sit down, like Sean Gares did with Cloud9 last year, where you're just gonna have to sit down and say, if I say something, you do it. You don't even think. You don't pause. You don't think. You just do what I say. Right? And if I tell you to do that, you got to go out there and you actually just have to execute the strategy that I call for. And if that strat involves running through a smoke, you run through that smoke.
Problem is, I feel like Sean would probably say it like, guys, I'd really like it if when I say something, maybe you guys could try and do it.
No. He
Like
cracked at one point, dude. He cracked at one point and started laying down the law.
I have such a hard time seeing Sean crack. I have seen FPL,
Right,
but still.
well, that's what I'm hoping that these leaders, that Kerrigan, if you have a divisive team like that can't make up their minds, at one point you just have to be like, put your foot down and say, okay, that's it. If I'm saying rush through smoke, you do it. You don't even pause a thing.
Well, there is a bit of commitment here coming in and a good refrag going into it. So definitely a good trade coming out, especially as Device picks up Kenny. But even without that kill, it's still worth it for the Astralis team. Now they have a man lead. They've got all the time in the world. Can they actually follow up on this? I think the first order of business is to make sure that they're not getting flanked anywhere, which there is a bit of an attempt coming out. NBK making some noise. I'm pretty sure that Cajun will have heard that on the other side.
Yeah, and he's got the angle. Device. That's NBK trying to do the best that he can. Trying to bring it back. He had to take a bit of a risk. Well, he got the info in the end. He just died in the process, and that's really not going to help him. 2 on 4 now. Keo and Happy, the last 2 alive. Well, they're spread out. I mean, Happy's in a bit of a lurk spot. This could get interesting, given Happy's hiding behind the boxes here. So he's going to spot them if they go lower, and if they try and push upper, he might be able to get a kill for free. And then that could allow for Keo to rotate in quick, because Keo's actually very close to Pop Dog. Excuse me, Pop Dog right now. He's going through main, and he's going to be able to backstab position here. If Happy can just confirm, there's the first man going through. Now he's going to hide. He doesn't give it away, so Keo can come in, and this could be it. Envy, if this works for him.
They're putting a lot of eggs in one basket. There's the bomb down with 15 seconds. Happy. Oh, it's actually going to try and prevent them from killing him. 10 seconds here. They need that bomb plant down, Astralis, and they should be able to put it down in full cover. So yeah, Happy can't stop it now. Kiyoshima is coming up from behind. That shot for the smoke doesn't go through, and Device will take down Kiyoshima. And Happy now in a very awful 1v3. He's trapped on the high ground. He can't make it out. He's out of grenades. Oh, man.
What control from Astralis of that situation. Once Happy figures it out, he gives away his position. He drops the bomb carrier as well, so that's buying a little bit of time there.
Yeah.
But Device, the presence of mind to watch for the backstab and not to just assume that Keo's coming in from, from Z. I mean, even if Cajun was over there already, to try and scout that area out, to not assume that Keo's coming from the other side of the map, but to watch their backs. Keo had no impact at all in the end, and it was all on Happy. That was a really solid, basically reacting to what happened, to the events. Astralis, they did a magnificent job there to keep their cool and just lock down that round. And now this is it. Match point for them. This is a best of 1 in the groups.
Did Dupree just have a stroke? What is he saying? I think he meant to type can't remember to Apex question, but I don't know what was happening. Kenny with a big opening kill. There's a definite chance that Envy could force this overtime. If they win this round, I'd say that's not even possible. That's even somewhat likely that'll happen. Money for Astralis is not going to be amazing, and
it won't be good enough.
It could be a matter of just having another buy essentially, and then you might be at overtime. So we'll see how it pans out here. Astralis, they need to close this game, because if it goes to overtime, it's anybody's match, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's where Envy can really get rolling. Everybody's warmed up now for them. Getting into the second half, they're starting to get things working again. But Astralis, it's all about the group now. The group and go. Smoke goes down. They'll be blocking off lower, but they're all focused up on Happy, on upper right now. Keo, he eats that flash. Unfortunate there for him. He actually turns right back into it, and now it's all on Happy. Kerrigan gonna go for the shoulder peek, so now they know where Happy is playing from. Everything going according to plan here for Astralis so far.
They have a Molotov still saved, and you've got to watch out for that. That could be big. Dupree going to get a kill in, but refrag coming through, and that's the Molotov down as well. Now it's a 3-on-3. The retake coming through here, and they're doing a really good job. Device going to take down one more. It's a 2-on-2, and this one is for the map. They need this, Envy. They do not have a smoke, but they have a kit on either player, and they need to get in here and get that bomb defused. Device going to miss a shot, but somehow he's still alive. Finally, the fire going to catch him. Sip from the high ground comes through. Kenny missing a shot, trying with the pistol, but the bomb is right at his feet, and he can't get this defused through. Sip is playing this very well, and he's trying to stick it, but it's going to be Astralis. 16-11. What a close 2v2 at the end, but just not enough time to take that battle, and eventually the Danish team is going to come out on top. That was, I mean, what was the score at the beginning? It was like 8-1 at some point?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
If Envy hadn't sort of been so slow out the gates, this could have easily been overtime or even worse for Astralis.
Mm-hmm. And look at how close it has to be in these rounds between these teams, so evenly matched when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I mean, even Device just buying enough time, and then that's Zipnix again. Zipnix just coming through the smoke at the perfect time when Device is drawing attention to himself to get that back shot in. I mean,
I have no idea how Device stayed alive for so long. I mean, that Molotov looked like it was on top of him, but...
He found the right. I mean, he was just right on the edge. He was just right on the edge. But this is perfect now. As far as the group pans out, now Astralis, they've beaten the raid boss, because EnVy, you know, first seed in this group, basically, the team to beat, the team that we expect to go through first in this group right now. So they've already got the hard work out of the way at least once. I mean, there's still FaZe and Virtus Pro to deal with here. So, I mean, obviously there's eFrag and Tempo Storm as well, but we aren't really looking at them in the same way. You know, there are basically 4 tier 1.5 teams that are going to be battling for the top 3 slots in this group. There's only 3 getting through this.
Yeah.
So Astralis, EnVy, VP, or FaZe, one of them, they're going to be going out in the group phase.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sedicus said it right though. This is sort of a group where there's so many question marks, so you don't know how good a VP is going to be. Not anymore, but you know, there's so many unanswered questions. You EnVy, one of them, but also, you know, VP and everything else. Also, Moses apparently not believing in Astralis. I think that's worth pointing out. Just got to say that. We are going to be ready with the interview though. We've got OJ ready with Astralis.